Hey guys, welcome back to
After the Smoke Clears.
So today I'm going to be interviewing my buddy Mark. And we were going to be interviewing Connor too. Connor's a little shy and we're going to be cool with that.
Yeah.
But we're going to get all the information about today's interview from Mark. Mark is Connor's dad, and Mark did an interesting thing. He bought Connor a cool pickup truck at a swap meet last year out in Morris, and it's been a labor of love for him and a good time for him to spend with his son, putting together, doing a cool father-son project, which ended up being a much bigger thing. So stay right there. This is coming to you right now.
Hi, my name is Mark, and this is my son Connor's 1983 Ford Ranger pickup truck.
Traditional pickup truck has long been one of the more familiar sights around the American farm. But in the past 10 years or so, pickups have been migrating to the suburbs. And with that new aura of respectability has come the downsizing of the full-size traditional truck. Never one to miss a trick, the Japanese started the mini pickup trend, but domestic manufacturers are fighting back. This is the latest attempt to capture some of that mini truck buck, Ford's new midsize Ranger. With a base price of $6,400 and an $8,200 price tag for our test middle-of-the-line XL version, let's see if this Lone Ranger is ready to take on the bad guys. Ford has traditionally taken a large share of the pickup truck market. And with this model, they're trying to combine the fuel economy of the mini pickups with the utility and payload of a full-size truck. That means a 108-inch wheelbase, which just happens to fall nicely between the discontinued Courier at 107 inches and the full-size 117-inch truck. Though the Ranger is a full 600 pounds lighter than the F-Series, it can still manage a substantial payload. And payload is what trucks are all about. Whether you're trying to clean out that barn or keep the wood stove full, the Ranger will give you a standard 1,200 pounds to play around with, or an optional 1,600-pound payload suspension system. And for that full-size piece of plywood, a unique system of notches. These days, pickups have to be at home on the highway, too. And here, the traditional truck owner may be in for a bit of a surprise. The ride is generally smooth and stable. Quiet, too, with a decibel reading of 71 at 55 miles per hour. Very good for a truck.
When my son Connor was younger, he, like many other kids, got diagnosed with ADHD. And he really had a difficult time, starting off school, and we had a difficult time just trying to adjust to this thing that seemed like it was taking over our lives at some times. And we actually got involved with another buddy of ours who asked me to work on a little Fiat Spider and to fix it up for him and put new seats in it and do whatever. And it was just a project car, something for me to do. And I asked my son Connor to, if he wanted to help me out, just like a little, father-son bonding thing. And I don't know how to explain it. Something came over the kid. He just all of a sudden became laser focused on what it was that we were doing and making sure that everything that we did to that car was perfect. And somebody who has ADHD would know that that's not something that is normal, that's out of the ordinary, that they would be so laser focused. And at that point, I just kind of knew that we were going to be car people and we were going to work on cars, because that illness, that disability, whatever you want to call it, is not there when my son's working on a car and we're together. So from that point on, we were hooked. We were car people. We went to every car show we could go to. As a matter of fact, from that point, we wound up fixing up 7 other Fiat Spiders. We did 8 of them all together, and we kind of fell in love with that, that car. So my son's grown now, and he's a good kid, man. He still loves cars, and he's getting close to getting his driver's license, and we were talking about, getting him a car. And I kept asking him, Connor, what kind of car do you want? Do you want me to go out and find you a Fiat Spider that we could fix up, or should I find one that's already fixed up? What do you want? And I don't know, he would never answer me, and I wasn't exactly sure why. And then one day I asked him, and he goes, yeah, Dad, I don't really know how to tell you this, but I really don't want a car. And when he said that, it's like, just in the pit of my stomach. I was so sad. But then his next words were, it's because I want a pickup truck. And I'm like, that's cool. My son's a pickup truck guy. So from that point, we set out on a quest to find my son a pickup truck. And, we looked at Facebook Marketplace, we looked here, we looked at Craigslist, eBay, searching around. He found a couple trucks that he thought he liked. And then we got invited to go out to the Morris swap meet last, I think it was probably October maybe. And so we went out there and we were just kind of looking, and I think I was probably looking for a vehicle more than he was. I think he just thought we were going just to take a look. And we saw a couple cool cars out there, and from a distance we saw this pickup truck, and we just knew that we had to have it as long as it was a sound running vehicle. Truck is originally from Arizona, had Arizona plates on it, and as you can tell, for it being a 1983, there really is very, very minimal rust spots on the car. The car is actually in beautiful condition, and like I said, that's what originally drew us to the car. And then once we got up on it and took a look inside, we found out that it had a V8 302 engine in it, which I thought was like way too much power for a little Ford Ranger. I'm getting soaking wet. So unfortunately, filming outside kind of has a little bit of a rain delay, so we're back into probably familiar territory to most of you people. It's my garage. So picking up where I left off, we were at this swap meet. We saw this beautiful truck, knew we had to have it, had a really nice looking motor in it, fired right up, sounded good. I called a couple friends over to take a look, kind of give me a second opinion, and you know what? We wound up driving the car home that night, negotiated a nice price with the guy, and my son was a proud truck owner. And then there was a couple things that were, not perfect on the car, some things that we knew that needed to be done. We saw, as we were looking at it, had a hole in the radiator, so I knew I needed to get a new radiator. It wasn't a big deal. The carburetor was really old, so we knew we were going to swap that out. And there was a lot of other little things just by looking at it cosmetically that we knew we were going to need to change. Give it a tune-up, new spark plugs, wires, rotor cap, all that stuff just to kind of make it look nice. And we wound up bringing the car to a buddy of ours, and he went through it and, fixed some of the electrical issues, cleaned up, the inside engine bay a little bit, and got the thing running top notch. And we were off and running, man, and just cruising and putting miles on the truck. And Connor took it on a couple long, trips, like an hour this way and an hour back. And somebody just getting his driver's license was, was good practice for him. And I think at that point he just fell in love with the truck. And then, it was, let's change the headlights to LED lights. Let's fix the dome light. Let's fix all these little things just to make the car a little bit more perfect. And that's what we set out to do. However, I guess there was, there was always an exhaust leak. And we could never quite get it to where it was tightened up to get rid of the exhaust leak. And we had a buddy of ours over, and he kind of got underneath it and got a couple turns out of it and tightened it up. And then he said, you know what we should do? He said, we should take this motor out of here and freshen it up, change all the gaskets, maybe paint the motor, put some nice valve covers on it, and really make this thing look sweet. And of course, he volunteered to do that for us, and I didn't really take him seriously in the beginning. But you know what? We found out he was serious. So a bunch of us guys, car guys, got together, and we took that 302 motor out of there, and unfortunately found out that it had a lot of hidden issues. And I guess the reason why I'm saying that is because we learned something. You know, here sits a beautiful truck on the outside. It looked fantastic. And, you know, that's really what we fell in love with, was the look of it. And getting down into it, things that you can't see with your eyes, there was a lot of things that were messed up. And I guess I would say to anybody who is looking to, you know, purchase a car from somebody that you may not know, is to kind of check, double check, and maybe even triple check, or take it to a mechanic and have a mechanic take a look at it and make sure that it doesn't have, you know, some of those hidden issues that we experienced, because there was a lot of things in there that could have meant a catastrophic failure, like the harmonic balancer was cracked, and a lot of things weren't tight. And so that was very disappointing. But anyways, we got the motor out of there, and we're going to show you guys a little piece of that. We got some of it on film. It was a little bit of a challenge for all of us, but it was fun. Hi, my name is Mark, and this is my son Connor's Ford Ranger pickup truck. And that's what makes him a car guy.
I'm a Chevy guy, GM guy. I've always had GMs, and now Connor is my arch enemy. Connor has a Ford Ranger pickup truck, obviously, with a 351 in it, and he thinks he can beat me in a race. So we're going to find that out this year. I'm going to beat Connor in a race, and I'm going to shut him up.
Well, Levi, what you really don't understand is you're going to automatically beat Connor in a race because, number one, I'm not going to let him race. Number two, the kid doesn't even have his driver's license yet, and once he does get his driver's license, that's like the last thing he needs to be doing is going out and racing people with more experience. So you got to let him get some experience under his belt.
So how could I be a good uncle to a kid if I'm not going to take him out when his dad's not around and make him race me on like some dirt road somewhere?
What I don't know won't hurt me, I guess.
So, yeah, I love the truck that they picked up. It's a really solid Arizona truck. Really came out nice. We had a lot of help from a lot of guys who are very caring,
yeah,
and personal friends, and they did a lot to help us get to where this truck is at today.
Absolutely.
And we can't say enough to the guys who all participated,
yeah,
working on this truck, from guys from our car groups, but also Mark's neighbor, who's an awesome guy too, who came out and helped out. And now he's got this cool, awesome running truck.
Yeah.
And you know, how many people are driving around with a 351 in a Ford Ranger pickup truck? Not a lot of people.
Not a lot of people, because you really need a shoehorn and a lot of greasing up the sides just to get the thing in. And you're right, Levi. We had a lot of really good people that pitched in and helped out with this project. We had a guy that donated his garage for a couple months. We had guys that were showing up week after week after week to work on this truck. And boy, to those guys, I just really, I can't thank them enough. And we're just, what a great group of guys just to do all that. To help out a 16-year-old kid. It's pretty cool, right?
Absolutely. And they did it for Connor. They really,
yeah,
they donated all their time and their efforts and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and you know, a lot of pole throwing and things like that to get this little truck on the road.
Yeah.
So we can't say thank you enough.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were, I hope you're watching, and you guys were wonderful. I know I've already said it before, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. It just really means a lot to me that somebody would reach out and do what you guys did for my son. So it really means a lot, and we're forever grateful, and Connor challenges any one of you to a race.
So I hope you liked the video. I know it seems like Mark is new at this, but he's not. And but I think Mark did a good job on the interview.
Let's hope so.
We got some really cool footage of an awesome truck, a little bit of while the truck was being done.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got a nice little video of the truck running down the road. with a huge smile from Connor. And we hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that people have learned a little bit about buying a vehicle from a swap meet or, you know, a car corral.
Yep.
It's always a good learning experience with every car thing that we do. I really appreciate that Mark asked me to interview him about Connor's truck, because Connor means a lot to me too, and you know, we love the kid, and he's going to be one of the people that steps up and hopefully brings more kids into the car world, and that's what we all want. We want everybody to be a car guy.
That's right.
So thank you so much for watching After the Smoke Clears this week. We hope that you have subscribed. We hope that you hit the little bell so you will get every notification when we put something up new. And don't forget about all the gear that we have. We have you know, awesome t-shirts, hoodies, masks, things like that. And you know, we appreciate what you do, and thank you very much for subscribing, and we will talk to you next time on
After the Smoke Clears.